Okay, the objective of this video is to, as it says, learn about buffers and how they apply to everyday life. And I've split this into two videos because the first video will be an application of buffers, a little bit of history, and then the nitty-gritty technical aspects of buffers will be in the second part. The ancient Greeks discovered, and you can imagine probably by accident, that the bark of the willow tree acted as a pain reliever. Probably somebody chewed on it, you know how people chew on twigs or whatever, and they discovered that it had a pain relieving effect. And it turns out that I looked it up online, and sure enough, you can still buy willow bark as a pain reliever for like an all-natural pain reliever. Well, so people started looking into this willow bark, and in the 19th century, the active ingredient, the active painkiller, was discovered. It was called salicin. And when you consume it, then your body metabolizes it into salicylic acid. And this is the formula for salicylic acid. I'm not going to expect that you know it, but this is the basis for our first pain relievers, salicin converted into salicylic acid. But the problem was that salicylic acid causes a stomach upset because it's an acid, for one thing, and so it adds to the acid in your stomach and causes your stomach to become more upset. And so this is just adding to what's already there and makes your stomach upset. So the thing that they tried to do then was to find a substance that did not cause stomach upset, or at least eliminated some of the stomach upset. And so at the Bayer Chemical Company in Germany, they were able to synthesize a compound that works pretty much as well, or better, but it has less stomach upset. It doesn't have no stomach upset. You're still going to get stomach upset from some people are going to get stomach upset from it. It belongs to a class of compounds called the salicylates, and this compound they called aspirin. Now, it turns out that as reparations for World War I, the Bayer Chemical Company had to give up the patent to aspirin, and so now that's why aspirin's cheap and available all over the place, because it no longer is under patent and anybody can make it. So this is the structure for acetylsalicylic acid, and aspirin is acetylsalicylic acid. It's a little more complex in that last structure. But here's the thing about aspirin. It's a pain reliever. It's anti-inflammatory. It's antipyretic. That means that it will lessen fever if you have a fever. And it also helps to prevent heart attacks. They recommend that as you get older, you take a baby aspirin or two a day to help prevent heart attacks. So this is a remarkable drug. It does lots and lots of things. Now at the same time, it does still upset some people's stomachs. And so some companies have come out with different kinds of aspirin. It's a brand of aspirin called Bufferin. You notice it also kind of looks like a Snickers bar, but it's not. This is called a buffered aspirin, hence the name Bufferin, and it causes less stomach upset than plain aspirin does. And it does that through the process called buffering. And so in part two, we'll look at the process of buffering.